All right, getting into a little arm specialization today. This is a pre-exhaustion workout, so it's going to be a superset with each block of the exercise. So 2 bicep exercises, 2 tricep exercises, 2 bicep, 2 tricep. So we're going to do a superset, 2 minutes rest, same superset, 2 minutes rest, 3 sets of each super, and then you move on to the next one. That's kind of how the flow of it goes. So let's get started. Seated hammer curl to pre-exhaust the bicep, and then close grip chin. All right, 2 minutes rest. Probably skip over the rest periods through most of this, but usually shooting for on the first exercise around 12 reps, and then kind of as many as you can get on the compound, usually around 8 to 6, somewhere in there. Obviously, as you start working through the sets, fatigue starts setting in. Might need to drop the weight to get the reps in. Might get a few less pull-ups in, kind of as you go, that will adjust slightly. But with the hypertrophy, we're trying to get, as much tension with as much weight as possible. The more weight on the muscle, the more intense the contraction, the more growth response you get out of that. So try to push yourself to use that same weight throughout, all right? And then we're progressively overloading by increasing the weight, either workout to workout or week to week. So I wouldn't say there's no need to increase the weight during the workout. If you find yourself doing, 12 reps on these hammer curls and you're not fatiguing that muscle yet, then obviously you want to increase the weight. So as I'm going through this, if I'm getting 10 reps with maybe 1 in reserve, that's all right. I'll take that. As long as you're bringing that muscle to fatigue in isolation before you go to the compound, that's what we're looking for, is a good fatigue before that compound. 12 seconds here. Here we go. That's good. Damn. Had to fight. Had to fight for those last ones there. That's rough. All right. Another 2 minutes here. Using that 2 minutes in between for rest, kind of extended period, I guess, depending on what you're used to. But I guess the logic is the idea that the nervous system takes about 4 to 5 times longer to recover than the actual physical muscle does. So kind of letting that recover, I wouldn't say fully, obviously it's not enough time to fully recover, but you need enough time to get enough recovery where you can complete that next set without having to, drastically decrease the weight or decrease the reps. So allowing you to repeat the tension, right? The same amount of tension, essentially. It's the idea. Growing muscles isn't like the science is like often argued, but they've got a pretty good idea about like what it takes to grow muscle, right? So you bring it to fatigue, that incurs some sort of recovery response. A certain level of fatigue promotes growth, promotes, radial muscle fiber growth, where, that's kind of getting into the weeds a little bit. I try to stay out of the weeds, keep things simple. But, sometimes you find yourself in those rabbit holes. I get curious sometimes too. Basically, what we're doing is trying to make it the most effective. Everybody's arguing about shit, but it's like a similar idea in mind. Here we go. That is fatigue. All right. Had to fight for 6 there. Fought hard for 6, fought hard for 10. That's how these things go. Nothing wrong with that. We'll take it all day. Moving on. All right. Moving on to the second superset here. Targeting the triceps. Got a decline Skullcrusher bench dip. Looking for 10 to 12 on the Skullcrusher. Same 8 to 12 on the dip here. Woo! That's good. Now you could do this, obviously, differently with reps and sets. Reps are kind of just helping you track, the amount of tension you're getting. So if you can do add 5 to 10 pounds or something, get 8 reps in the pre-exhaustion, but if the fatigue is really what you're playing for. So you can get similar fatigue from less reps with more weight, by all means. I just came off of a low rep block, so now I'm accumulating with more reps. So typically, I wouldn't train 10 to 12 reps on a curl. I don't like doing 10 to 12 reps on a lot of things, to be honest, but I kind of like to stick in the 6 to 8 range personally. But this is obviously kind of a, there's a plan behind the design, so that's the only reason I'm really doing this up to 12 reps sort of setup. A lot of times I don't even like to do these pre-designed programs for myself. Like typically I just kind of like to go to the gym and do whatever I feel like doing that day, where sometimes I might do legs 3-4 days a week, just as my knee feels good. I like to take advantage of that. Oh, here we go. Shut your mouth. Do some reps. Damn. Getting a little tougher. Woo! Damn. Six there. 6 reps there. I love it, but fuck, fatigue's fatigue, See if we can get a little more out of this last set. I think the spread's a little tight. Tighten up the spread a little bit here, maybe. One thing I am big on, regardless of sets, reps, all that, is range of motion and training with a full range of motion. I think it was Charles Poliquin, I could be wrong, don't quote me, but said that strength is gained in the range that it's trained. So if I'm looking for, growing the size of a muscle, I don't want to train just a single range of motion. I want to train all the ranges of motion that are going to completely develop that muscle as a whole. Obviously muscles, it's not just one piece, right? There's multiple heads of a muscle, multiple fibers, but there's a lot of variability within the muscle itself. So it's like training the same movement in the same range all the time is going to grow that targeted muscle group, right? That whether it's, one head or another, some movements train, the full scope of the muscle better than others, but I like to vary things. I like variation in my training. So You know, some days I might train short range, some days I might train long range, some days you might do a little bit of both. Just keeping the variability with like the end goal being balance. I want a balanced approach to these things to get like good even development around the entire muscle. Shut up, time for work. Let's go. Ten there. All right, here we go. Bench dips. You got me last time, not this time. Come on. Nine, I'll take 9. All right, moving on. All right. Next superset here for the biceps. We've got a Scott curl with the easy bar. Then we've got a neutral grip pull up with the pull up bar. Nice, good one. All right. And I don't know if I mentioned yet or not, but the rest period in between blocks, so my A block being the first superset, B block being a second superset, the rest period in between A and B is also 2 minutes. Typically I would have all my stuff set up so that I'm not moving weights around, doing things like that in between. But for the sake of this video and not having to move my cameras all over the gym, I'm just kind of keeping it all right here. So might be taking a little more time in between than usual, but for the sake of the video, this is how we're doing it. All right, shut up, let's do some reps. 45-degree back extension also makes a great Scott curl bench. Pro tip, here we go. Whew. Damn. Here we go. Whew. Nice. That's good shit. Solid tension there. 2 minutes, let's go. Like I said, this is a little more structure than my typical workouts. Kind of got to the point where I can come in the gym and just like how my body feels in that moment kind of dictates what I'm going to do that day. You know, I've got obviously like priority lifts that, you know, if I'm like looking to target my quads, I'm going to front squat. You know, there's certain things that are kind of the go-to movement for training certain areas. But outside of that, I mean, it's pretty sporadic. You know, I like to keep, like I said, I like to keep variation in there. I think, you know, targeting a muscle in a different way, targeting the same muscle in a different way elicits a different recruitment pattern. So, you know, you're kind of somebody that's training a seated bicep curl, only seated bicep curls, and then standing bicep curls. You know, it's kind of the same. You're kind of getting a similar recruitment pattern from both. So it doesn't really make sense. You know, I see people doing that. I'm like, do like a preacher curl with that, sitting or seated or standing, so you're kind of getting a different target area out of both movements, targeting the same area twice in a row. You're not getting as much out of those movements as you would by like targeting the lower head and then the upper head. If you're targeting like the mid whole thing twice in a row, that's a lot of fatigue setting in there. You're not getting recovery. Recovery helps along the way. So jibber jabber, 3 seconds here. Let's get into it. Second set, let's go. Ouch. That's what I'm talking about. Five there. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Goodness. Yeah, so obviously fatigue setting in, losing reps by the set here, but that's biology, baby. That's gonna happen. I'm kind of using, so like whatever I do on the first set, so this is my C block, the first set kind of dictates the target for the rest of the sets. Now obviously in the B block, where I'm doing the tricep dips or the bench dips, you saw me get 6 reps on that second set and then 9 reps on the third set. So it's like, it's not a predictor in the sense that you can't go over that number. Obviously you want to reach fatigue, so like you got more in the tank, let it out there, but it kind of gives you an idea where, like if I could get 10 reps the first time, I should get up to 10 reps on the second set. And like obviously there's some variation there, that's not set in stone, but it just kind of gives you an idea. Good target, keep in mind. And also that's like kind of like real-time tracking on like how you're performing. If you get first set you get 10 reps, second set you get 3 reps, that's like, whoa, something's going on there. A little too much fatigue, maybe you didn't get good sleep, maybe you didn't recover from the last workout well enough. That would kind of be like an indicator of something, right? So staying kind of in tune with your body throughout the workout is obviously the goal here, to like be able to get the fatigue that you need to create a growth response. You've got to be recovered well to begin with. So like if I was in my first set or my first block, in my second set I got 2 reps on something, I'm like, oh man, do I just stop here? All right, here we go. What am I doing? Jesus Christ. Brain fatigue. There we go. Last set, big set. Seven? All right, let's go. 3.5. Failure on the fourth. Okay. Moving on. Thought I'd change up the angle for you fine folks for this last set. 30 seconds here. So here we've got an overhead tricep French press. Tricep French press as opposed to a bicep French press. Yeah, so overhead easy bar French press with a narrow grip, close grip bench press. Wow. This fatigue is setting into my brain. All right. There we go. Woo. 11 there. All right. On the close grip, I like to stay, typically most bars got the knurling in the same spot. I just like to stay inside the knurling on the grip. And kind of coming down to the bottom of the sternum area. Woo! 11 and 9. All right, I'll take it. Get a little water here. Don't mind me jumping out of frame there. Yeah, so with pre-exhaustion, it's like a good setup for if you don't have a lot of time to work out. Pre-exhaustion, you can get quite a bit of an amount. You can get quite a bit of fatigue in a short amount of time. Pre-exhaustion by, just running this 2-minute rest in between is really the longest. Like a set, I think probably takes about a minute each set to go through. The rest is really the big time suck in this workout, but highly necessary. So that's why we do it. I think this full workout usually takes me around 30 to 36 minutes. Obviously having everything set up beforehand where you need it to be helps speed things up, so you're not having to change weights a lot. That obviously takes more time. Common sense there. 35 seconds. I'm gonna try to do more of these videos like this, just kind of live training videos, get like in the moment thoughts and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be a lot of jibber jabber, a lot of me just talking. I like to talk a lot. So hopefully y'all like it, but I think I'm gonna keep doing it regardless. Five seconds. Here we go. Ten there. All right. Oh, this feels light. Till it doesn't. Yeah, that's wild. Typically I would be closer to like the 150-ish range on a close grip for reps, but after all this fatigue and, at the end of the workout, trying to use a weight that I'm not going to kill myself with, but also still give me enough tension, I don't want to be doing 15 reps to get there. Obviously that's too many. I think honestly like 10 is kind of pushing it. I'd like to be in that 6 to 8 range ideally on the compound, where like maybe 0, 1 RIR is ideal. Also didn't want to be like filming a video and then drop a bar on my neck because my arms are so fatigued, so that would be embarrassing. "45 seconds. What do we talk about for 45 seconds? I kind of like these pre-exhaustion supersets. I kind of like superset a lot of things in my training, but rarely do I do, a pre-exhaustion type thing where I'm supersetting the same muscle group back to back, but kind of liking it. The fatigue is real. Here we go. Last set. Let's go. Last set, big set. Yeah. 8 there. Come on. All right. You seen it here, folks. That workout is 4 blocks, A, B, C, and D. 2 bicep, 2 tricep, alternating. A bicep, B tricep, C bicep, D tricep. So what is that? 3 times 4, 12 sets altogether. And an alarming amount of fatigue, let me tell you.